I mean, what's kind of the level of, I said, we talked about it last week, it's a big swing coming off the layoff, but what's your level of confidence with him
I'm
right
confident that I have the horse prepared to go in and run a good race. I'm very confident in his soundness and his fitness. It's such a tall order to run against horses that are in form in this race and fit and have been campaigning all year. So, running him a mile, it's a challenge. Like Marcus and I were talking about, it's been quite a while for this horse since he saw a mile race. So, but on a positive note, the horse is, he looks better than I've ever seen physically. He's really grown up and he's got great strength to him. He's carrying really good condition without looking unfit. Like you said, his gallop outs have been consistently strong the last 3 weeks here. He's gotten to know the Keeneland turf course. That's another positive. He's been on it regularly. So, and he's a super talented horse. So it's going to have to come down to getting a good position in the mile race, getting a good trip, getting a clear run in the lane to see what he can do.
At what point did you think, hey, we might be able to pull this off, getting him into the entries?
About 3 weeks ago, it became a possibility, but I remain realistic anyway every week as I go forward, knowing he's gonna have to do everything right to make it. But he still has to come out of this work good tomorrow and train good all week and such. But if he comes out of it good tomorrow, he'll be entered.
Any comment on Regal Glory? I think that was one of the best works of that I saw.
I agree with you. I think so with her and Rogier, both horses running back just in 4 weeks. I didn't want to do too much with them. I thought Regal Glory worked really well. Knowing her through her whole career, since we've had her since she's 2, she's never been a really good workhorse. So that's about as good as you're going to see from her. Is she's never going to be one to be just dragging the rider through the lane, swinging off her. That's not her. She sort of does what she needs to do. I liked how she stayed right next to Rogier. Her, on the flip side, has always been a good workhorse. This year, unfortunately, for most of the year, she's worked better than she ran, and except for that last race and her first race for us. Everything in between has been disappointing with her, actually. But she seems to be coming in the race good, Rogier. Coming off her best race of the year, she's come in here, done a couple easy works, well in hand, and maybe she's a fall horse, we'll see the best race of her year again on Saturday, hopefully.
Because she had that Group 1 win in Europe, and it was a good feeling, obviously, to get that Grade 1 at Woodbine.
It was, yeah, because obviously she cost a lot of money. She came over highly regarded, and then off such a promising American debut here, she ran so good in the Bogey first of the year, and then what a disappointment the rest of the year, because I had her in races where she was training really good and she just didn't show up. So she certainly had me scratching my head for a good part of the summer. It's nice to see her, and she got a rough trip in that race at Woodbine. I mean, this is a much tougher race Saturday, but still, I mean, she was totally eliminated down the backside and came again. I was pretty proud of her.
Yeah. Within Italian, she's put together 2 nice wins. Has she figured out something new, or is it just a natural progression? Just what's going on with her?
Yeah, I think she's just progressed all year. She's gotten stronger and faster. We've always thought a lot of her. She's clearly identified her preferred style is going to the front.
Yeah.
And she's a dangerous horse. When you have a horse with a lot of speed and they can carry it, they're hard to beat because they're always in front of you, and and they just keep going. So she's one of those rare horses.
Yeah, with turf horses, so many of the best ones come from off the pace.
Yeah.
When you have one that goes to the lead, what does that do to everybody else in the field? Does that put a lot of pressure on them and force decisions?
I think so. Yeah, like I said, it makes them tough to beat because you're sort of at their mercy. What they want to do. I mean, if you take a shot at them early, you're probably going to fade, and if you wait too long, they're gone. So they're tough horses to beat, and they're rare horses to have as a trainer, I can tell you.
So Virginia Joy has first preference. Philly Mayor Turf, is that where you guys
probably
are doing?
Yeah, I'll speak to Mr. Brand about it again tomorrow. We had a conversation yesterday about it. She's sort of in between her. I think the mile and 3/8 we saw in the Flower Bowl is probably her best distance, but mile and 3/16 is a little sharp for her. But to run against her own genders might be a little easier.
Yeah.
The Colt race, it's not the toughest mile and a half turf that I've seen, but then again, there's still some nice horses in it, and to face males is, tall order. So we haven't really decided yet.
Yeah.
Probably come late, last minute decision Monday.
Her most recent one was Gate to Wire, but she's shown versatility.
I think if she has lack of speed. She's won 2 races this year that way, but only in races that had no pace at all.
Gotcha.
I think if there's any reasonable pace in a race, she wouldn't be in the front.
Jack Christopher, what did it come down to between the two races? Maybe 2 million in one turn versus 1 million in two turns?
Not the
or-
money. Just that he's undefeated around one turn. His only loss is around 2. That's a hard stat to go against as a trainer. That's why I'm coming back to Oxymore a little bit in the sprint, looking. He's 2 for 2 sprinting. His only loss is he got caught in the wire at Monmouth going 2 turns. So I'm really going back to Frankel 101. Stick to the basics, he used to say. Yeah, so the basics are the stats right there. It's hard to go against them, so I might just stick to the basics there.